I've been working on using up a box of pears that I got at our local produce stand in Peachtree Produce. Made some wonderful pear bread, so yummy, and I've been making pear preserves. It's been a long time since we had any, so we're really excited about that. I know we'll enjoy them this winter. I've had a lot of cores and peelings, as you might imagine. I tried making some vinegar. It's still working, and hopefully it's going to turn out. Pear vinegar. I've never made that. I've only made apple vinegar, or vinegar from apple peelings, one time before, so we'll just see how that turns out. But I had a whole lot of peelings and cores left from getting ready to make my preserves. So I was thinking about what I could do with them, and I remembered my wonderful steam juicer, and I thought I'll just put them all in that and see if any juice comes out. And if it does, I'm going to make jelly out of it. So this is sort of an experiment. I've never used it for those things. Typically, for things like that, I've used it for berries and grapes, tomatoes. But typically, if I was going to do, like in the days I made a lot of apple jelly, I'd still love to make some even this year, but I'd usually dry the apples, and either that or make apple preserves. We love those, even applesauce. And then with the peelings and the cores, I would put a little bit of water on them and cook them on top of the stove and get the juice that way to make apple jelly. I have a video, I can link to that in the description below. But I want to just try this and see how much juice comes out of all these peelings and all those cores, and see if I get enough to make some pear jelly. So I got to do some other things in here in the kitchen. I'm going to carry this out to the porch. We're very blessed that we have a camp stove, camp shelf it's called, just a like propane burner on the porch. And I'm going to let it be going out there, working on getting my juice while I'm doing the things I need to do in here. And hopefully I'm going to end up with enough to make some pear jelly, which will be really, really good on some biscuits this winter. This is rather heavy, as you might imagine. We've already got it filled up with water. I do, and got the pears in it, and they're all the way up to the brim. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm going to leave it right here, and when Matt comes in, I'll get him to help me carry it out there and get it started. Heavy, huh? Mm-hmm. So if you've never seen a steam juicer, it's kind of dark out here on the porch, I know, because it's early. Matt turned the porch light on for us. It's got 3 different parts, well 4 if you count the lid, but that bottom part is where the water is. It's got water. This middle part is the collection, where it'll collect the juice. And then this part, the top part, is where I've got all the pears right now. You would put your berries, your tomatoes, whatever it is you want in there. That part has holes all around it like a sieve, and so that juice slips out, goes into this, and then when it gets full, it comes out this tube into your collection, whatever you want to use. It's really, really handy. We come out to check, and we've got, I don't know, that looks like at least a cup, maybe 2 cups in the bottom, so I think we're definitely going to have enough to make jelly. Smells really nice out here. That sweet pear scent is everywhere, coming out in the steam. That's what they're looking like on the inside. So I think there's going to be quite a bit of juice come out of them. So we've ended up with quite a bit of juice here. And then I know there's more in the collection container, because it has to get so deep before it comes out of this. So I think we might be ready to try to make jelly. So let's see how much we ended up with. I just went out and got the juice from the porch. So let's put it, I've got my big 2-quart measuring bowl here. Let's see what we ended up with, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. It looks really pretty. It's really a dark color. Oh my goodness, we're going to have 2 cores. That may be more jelly than I wanted to make. Let's see. So that's about just barely below 8 cups. So now I've got to decide what recipe I use. I use Sure Gel. You don't have to, like a pectin, if you don't want to. You don't. I mean, there's all kinds of recipes online where you can do the right temperature of the cooking, boiling the liquid and the sugar and get it to set up. Some people say they can taste the pectin. I can't. probably because I grew up on Granny using pectin. And there's all natural pectins too though, so if you wanted to use that, or if you wanted to make your own. I think some people add lemon. Apple has a lot of pectin. I'm sure pear probably has a lot of pectin too, but I'm just going to use Sure-Gel. So let me get my recipe, my Canon recipe book out, and let's see what we think would work with this one. So I'd already been kind of flipping through it. People tell me, and I've noticed it myself too, that Sure-Gel doesn't always put the little pamphlet like they used to in there. I have some from years gone by, so I looked at those, and they had pear jam, but no pear jelly. So there's a peach jelly that I use. It's really funny. One time I told Granny I was going to make peach jelly. I was just going to make it out of the peelings, you know, out of the pits and the peelings. I was going to get the stuff off the pits. Some people think you should not do anything with the pits because they've got something in them. Same thing with apple seeds. Anyway, but she told me, no, Lord, don't do that. If you do, you'll have those little hairs, like the little fuzzy part that's on peaches. And I did it anyway, and it turned out great. So if I have extra peelings, kind of the same way, you know, you do with the apple peelings, but I have a recipe for peach jelly that I found online, but I actually found it from a friend, a local friend, and she put it on her blog she had at that time. So for it, we need 4 cups of peach juice, and so this is right at 8 cups. I'm thinking I could just double it and use this recipe. So we would need the 4 cups, or the 8 cups if I'm going to double it. A half a teaspoon of butter, and that butter is to keep it from foaming. If that part bothers you, it doesn't bother me, and I usually don't put no butter in anything I make, but you could. And then a package of pectin, 5½ cups of sugar, and then of course you'd need your canning jars and your lids and your taps. So I have some of my little canning jars, little jelly jars over there already in some water, getting them hot. And when it comes to making jelly, there's different ways. If you follow the FDA Canon experts, they're going to tell you that you need to water bath it, you need to process it. I grew up in a family that did not do that, so I don't do that. We use the open kettle method, it's called. So my jelly will be boiling hot by the time it gets turned into jelly. You know, it's like liquid jelly. My jars will be boiling hot because I have them over there in the boiling water. And then I will ladle really fast the hot jelly into those hot jars, seal them, cover them up like this, and as they cool, they will seal. That's what I do. I can't tell you what to do. Of course, you have to do what you feel comfortable. If you wanted to process this, if you decided to make it, I would do the whole steps, and then I would put them in a water bath for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, something like that, if that makes you, you know, if you feel better about that. Or someone might have, you know, you might find another jelly recipe that says you should process it for 15 or 20 minutes. That's just, you'll have to go find that information. But for me, I use that old way of open kettle method. So, I guess I just need to get my sugar. I've got I just went ahead and got a bag of sugar, and I use, this is just the kind of sugar I prefer. It's just pure cane sugar, and so it looks a little brown, so that's why it looks funny. So I have to get me something to measure it in. Now I don't have exactly 4 cups. I mean, doubling the recipe, I don't have exactly 8 cups. I'm just like barely that little bit. So I'm just going to add water. I'm just going to add some water. If I had apple juice handy, I could add that. I don't have any. So I'm just going to get me a little bit of water and add it. Just use one of these jars. I mean, it's just barely any. Right there, already at 8. So that's good. I may have to go downstairs and get me more jelly jars. I've got a few in a box over here, but I need to wash them. And so let me get my big pot. Better move this, or we'll have stuff all over it. I'll go ahead and put my juice in it. And you need to follow your, you know, pectin. If you did go by, if you're going to use pectin like I am, follow the directions on it. Always, for many years, it was like you put all the pectin in at one time, and then after that I noticed that it was like you put a little bit in and mix it and then do something else. So you just need to read on your box of pectin how to do that part. Speaking of that, I had to find me some pectin, so I wonder if this one, if it says, this is a a brand that Ingalls in my local area sells, Mrs. Wages. I've used it before and I like it fine. It has a recipe for pear. And it's about like the peach one. I think it's it exactly, so that's interesting. Except it's saying that you can crush or chop finely. Of course, I've just got the juice. I don't have anything else. Okay, this is the way that I would normally do it, which is, I'll go over that with you right quick. And I will link to my peach recipe, my friend's peach recipe, that's actually on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, so I can link to that. But and she goes in that tells you how to make the peach juice and all that kind of stuff. And then we just got the juice, and we're going to put the pectin in. And if you wanted to use the butter, you're going to put it in, and then we're just going to let it come to a full rolling boil, and then we're going to add the sugar all at once, which is 5½ cups, or I'm doubling mine, so it'll be more than that. And then you let it come back to a boil, and it boils for 1 minute. And after that 1 minute, you're ready just to put it in the jars. Another thing that's unique, my friend does it and I do it, and it's funny because we're from the same area. I say I do it, but there's sometimes I just don't, but most of the time I do. If I'm making jelly, once I fill those jars, I turn them upside down. And the way I was taught was that really ensures that seal is hot, the top part is hot, and helps it seal better. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but you know, when you learn how to do something, it's hard to change your habits. So I usually do that and leave them until they're all filled, and then I'll start turning them back over, and maybe leave that last one for another minute or two, and then I cover them and let them cool off. So let's see if we can get the sugar though. But I found me some pectin to use. Don't need that. Get this over there. Need some scissors to take the sugar open. And I turned down my jars. I had them on high over there, and they're just bouncing all over the place. Okay, let's see. 5½ I'm going to have. Basically, this is not going to be big enough for all the sugar that I need, because it's just got 8 cups. But we'll start with this, and then I'll go get another one. Okay, there's that. So let me get the rest of it out in this one. And another thing, while I'm thinking about all the questions people might have, is, and I even read it seen it on the pectin there when I was glancing through it, is that it says don't double the recipe. You won't have good success. So that's another thing you would have to decide on whether or not you wanted to do or not. I've doubled it lots of different recipes when I'm making jelly or pickles or something like that, and it's always been okay for me. So I can only share my experience though. So now we've got all the sugar ready, so we'll be ready. It kind of starts moving fast when you get to that point. Let me move it over there, and then we'll just get started putting the pectin in the juice. Pectin in. It wants to clump up on you a little bit in the beginning. It will, just as it begins to cook, it'll usually just all melt in, but I like to help it out a little bit. Okay, so we'll just let that come to a boil. Okay, we're at a full rolling boil there. We'll start putting our sugar in all at once. Since I use the same bowl to measure out the pear juice, I've got the sugar sticking on the sides a little bit. I'm going to get it all in there. Stir in all that sugar. You can also buy, if you're worried about sugar like that, you can buy, or worried about too much sugar, you can buy pectin that's like low sugar and it doesn't call for as much sugar. So I've got it all stirred in now. I'll just wait a few minutes for it to come back to a boil. So we're at a full rolling boil now, so I'm going to set me a timer for a minute and then we'll be ready to start putting it in the jars. So our timer went off, I've turned the heat off, and I'm ready to start ladling into jars. I got 2 of my hot jars out, and I'll just start putting the hot jelly in there. I leave my other jars in the hot water as I'm doing this. I just like to get like 2 out at a time, and that way they stay real hot. Really a pretty color. I thought it would be more of a, like a clear. It's really pretty. Hole there for easy access. If you get any on the little rim, you can definitely need to wipe it off because it's sticky. Just realized you couldn't see nothing I was doing, but you can see now. So if you get any on the rim, is what I was talking about, you'd need to wipe it off. Just tighten them, and then I'm over here at the edge turning them upside down. As I'm working, I just replenish my jars and my taps and lids as I need to. You could definitely use bigger jars if you'd like to. I love little jelly jars. I have lots of them, and they're the perfect size, of course, to give for a gift. Sometimes I use bigger ones. I've got some bigger ones over here that I'll be using. Pint jars. These are little half pints. Here's one of the bigger jars. It's kind of a tall, skinny one. I don't even know where I got them. If you're somebody that I don't know, it seems like jars find you if you're somebody that puts up food like this. And so I'm not sure if somebody give us something to eat in them, or if somebody shared their jars they didn't need no longer with me, or whatever. I don't remember ever buying any like that. Thank goodness. I've been very fortunate. I've never had to buy many jars. Getting close to the bottom now. Let myself run out of jars too. I'm almost at the end, but I'm afraid this is, I don't know, it'll be close. Let's see if we can fill this last jar. Usually I get part way through and have to go get more jars. And if you do that and you're worried about your jelly, your liquid jelly being, you know, cooled down too much, if you had to, like me, run downstairs and get them and wash them, you can always heat it back up a little. This rarely ever happens, but I think just have a little bit left, which is what I like, because I like to put it in a little bowl and we can eat it fresh. So I think this is good. There's another big jar here, so that's good. Now I'm gonna get me a little bowl to put that out in. I've turned off the water back there, and then I'll start turning the jars over, but I'm gonna move them over here to my other place where I can better cover them up. I've already got some jars of things I canned this morning, so I'm just going to move them over there with them. But first I got to get a bowl. Oh, you're just in time.
For what?
Would you like to taste some fresh jelly? I don't know. That might have been... I kind of already made my decision now, though. So I probably should have found me another little jar to put the rest in, because I probably had a jar. Fresh pear jelly. It turned out to be more. I probably should have put that in a jar, but I'm going to put some out in a little saucer so maybe it'll cool quickly and me and Matt can try it.
A big biscuit to put it on.
Yeah, I should have made you.
Get a piece of bread,
Made you
smear
biscuit.
it on that. What do you think?
That's what I love to do. This is like saucering your coffee, Matt. I'm going to put a little bit out here and see if it'll cool for us. While I move the other jars, maybe. Ooh, I don't spill it.
Want a piece of it?
Yeah, I want a piece. We may have to wait just a minute while it cools slightly, or we'll be sopping. We can sop some. Sop some up.
I'm a pretty good sopper.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wash my hands one more time. I've got boiling seed oil all over. Golly, it hurts. Got a cut.
Would you mind pouring me some milk?
I'll have to go get some.
Okay.
Or you can have that.
No. Whoops. Okay. Put some of those hugged up right there. And if you're not somebody that covers up your canning jars, we do that to try to insulate them and let them cool slowly so that they make sure they all seal. I'll go over here and get me some other things to put on top of them. That should be good. One of the things I look forward to most about making jelly is to make a little foldy and have it hot, fresh, and with some milk. And I've not got to do that this year. Our blackberries were a total bust. They didn't do any good at all. It's because all the wet weather we had early on. And then our grapes didn't do good either. The ones up here, it was the wet weather that affected them. And then the ones at Corey's would have probably been pretty good, but a deer helped herself to them. So I don't know, Matt, this may still be too runny to, what do you say, we just do it anyway?
Just do it. It's the last of the milk. We're going to have to get a cow.
We need to.
Keep running through all the milk way before grocery day.
So it takes a while for your jelly to set up. Different times, I mean, I think it depends on the temperature and a lot of different things. Was that enough jelly for you there?
Yeah, just whatever. I don't care.
And, but I've had jelly sometimes that I thought, well, it's just not going to set up. Some of the last apple I made, I felt like that. I thought, well, we'll eat it as apple syrup on pancakes or something. And I put it, got tired of waiting on it in my kitchen and took it downstairs, put it on the canning shelves. And then, 6 months or something later, when I was down there looking for something, I seen a jar of it and it was set up. I had wrote on it like apple syrup so people would know if they went down there and got it. And then it was solid. So I just hadn't waited long enough. How is it, Matt?
Oh, it's good.
Is it? It's kind
Just
of.
needs a little more on it.
Oh well, here you go. You do yourself there.
Right.
I'll let you do
I'm
it.
waiting on you.
Okay. It's going to be very sticky because I can already feel it running out on my fingers. Let's see.
That'll do.
That's very nice. You can taste the pear. It's very nice. Mm.
Good job, lady.
I think that may be the first time I've ever made pear jelly, unless I've just forgot. I've made pear preserves a lot. That's what I usually do. But I just had all those extra peelings and cores and thought I should make some.
Very good.
It is very good. More of a delicate flavor, pear, apple, all those, than when you compare them to like blackberries, my favorite for sure. It's a stronger flavor, but this is good. You just need some biscuits to go with it.
Got a half a dozen biscuits in that bowl there, and I'll be in good shape.
Maybe some bacon and gravy and eggs. You might as well go all the way, right?
Yeah, about a half pot of coffee.
Yeah, might as well go all the way.
And then after that,
if you're going to dream about it,
enough time set aside for a nice nap.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Well, this is really good that I got this made today. I made some preserves too. You'll see those in another video in our roundup of October. But I'm mostly glad to have that. I wanted the pears. It wasn't that I didn't want them, but then they were just taunting me sitting over there in the kitchen. So I'm done with the box of pears and got us several jars of preserves and several jars of jelly.
Good deal.
We had pear bread out of them. It was delicious. So it was absolutely worth it. And, you know, varying prices at different places, of course, but for us here, that box was $12.
Yeah.
And so I've made all this. And here's 2 of them left. I saved 2 for Matt to eat. They're good eating pears. And had the bread, so it's definitely been worth that.
Absolutely.
When you think about, of course, you have to add in the sugar and the pectin, I know that, but still, definitely was a good find that day. I'm glad we stopped to see Patricia on that day. We're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia.